Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be getting a message from your higher self, so whatever guidance or advice they might have for you today. And with that said, please feel free to pause the video, pick whichever card is speaking the most to you, and let's get into today's reading. Hello Pile 1 and welcome to your reading. In today's video we are going to get some messages from your higher self, so whatever guidance or advice or other messages they might have for you today. And with that said, let's get into it. Let's just, okay, we have a Hierophant. Okay. Alright, fell on the floor, one sec. Ooh, the Eight of Wands, very nice, okay. What messages do you have for? What messages? Okay. Alright, we have the Three of Wands, okay, very nice. And the Six of Wands, there's, wow, a lot of wands and a lot of positive messages here. So we are going to get one more card for you. What messages do you have for? Okay, and then we have the Eight of Swords. There's also lots of lower chakra energy here. We have a lot of sacral and solar plexus. So you might find that you are doing sacral and solar plexus work lately, or you might be being encouraged to focus on those areas. I think that there's definitely a message here that the only thing holding you back from achieving a really high level of success in terms of following your dreams and achieving whatever you want really is your own fear. And you might identify as having either like a fear of success, a fear of failure, or both. And that might be creating a situation where you might feel like you have a lot of anxiety or hesitation to really advocate for yourself or promote yourself, and there might be a message here. I don't really think you're doing anything wrong, but there might be a message here that a way to kind of, I'm seeing someone pushing something up a hill and then pushing it over the peak. It's like rolling a ball up a hill and then you're pushing the ball over the top of the hill and it's rolling down the other side. So it's like the way to like just push it up that last foot up the hill to get that ball rolling down the other side is going to be confronting whatever fears are holding you back. That's like the final piece, the last thing. If it feels like the level of success that you want or you may have been promised is not coming into fruition, if you feel like there have been blockages and delays and you're not quite sure what they are, again, the message I'm getting here is that the final piece really is on this Eight of Swords here. But the good news is you have a lot of really like positive messages here about forward momentum, and I think that that is really amazing. We are going to get your oracle cards. So yeah, we have My Light Attracts Light, which I love. There's a message about putting yourself out there and you know, letting other people see your light, like see what makes you special, and you know, and maybe doing some self-promotion if that resonates for you. Again, like really shining out, maybe doing some self-esteem work related to the solar plexus. Again, like facing your fears, confronting whatever fear is being represented here on the Eight of Swords is going to attract this Eight of Wands, Three of Wands, Six of Wands, beautiful stuff here. So we will get into that, and then we have I flat out dare life to pleasantly surprise me, because, spoiler alert, it always will. So I love that. And then we have like this, ow, okay, I got excited and I bumped the camera. Okay, sorry. Things might be a little bit crooked, you know, my perfectionistic tendencies are coming out to play today, so that might be something that resonates for you. There's a message, I think, with that, that might be part of what needs to be released here. But it's like daring the universe to meet you halfway. When you put the work in and you put yourself out there and you put your light out into the world, it's like I'm not only trusting the universe to come in and help me achieve whatever I want, I am also like I'm putting it out there and I'm daring the universe to meet me. And there's a gift or a present on this card. It's like receiving gifts and abundance from the universe because you're shining your light. So I think that's really important. And then we have, it doesn't matter how old I am or what's going on in my life. Epiphany is always waiting just around the corner, which is why I guess it's good to sleep with a nightlight on. There's another message about shining a light, illuminating something that might be, it's tied to epiphany. So you might have a moment of clarity or an epiphany. The Hierophant is connected with mentorship or receiving guidance from either an ancestor, spirit guide, or somebody who's like a living person who might be in a position of authority, or might be an older person, might be being represented by the Hierophant, who can provide some illumination or guidance for you. There might be a message about that. Honestly, this might be just representative of your higher self showing up in this reading to give this message today. So just take it however it resonates for you. But there's it's like a message, I think, about, always being in a beginner's mindset that, the more we learn, the more knowledge that we attain, the more we tend to find out how much we still don't know, So it's saying, like, I remain open to being enlightened about things and to continuing to learn, continually facing fears and obstacles that might come up because they will continue to do so. I think that, there's an acknowledgement here that, the more that we grow and evolve and change and up level and raise our vibration, and more life meets us where we are with certain challenges and obstacles. It's normal for fears to come up, and it's what matters is how you choose to address it in the moment. So I think that's part of the message. And then I think that your spread is kind of color coded. I think there's a message. I'll get into the Wands cards. There's a message that this Hierophant is going to help you with the Eight of Swords. The Hierophant represents, a Hierophant is like a wise person, I think. It represents like receiving guidance from a certain source. It's related to learning, teaching. It's also related to tradition in institutions, and there might be a message about taking a course, taking a class, going to school, whatever is related to the tradition, like the way we've always done things, maybe things that are related to religion. You might be a member of a specific religion that might be important to you. It doesn't have to be. There's lots of associations with the Hierophant, so just take whatever resonates for you. But there's a message. It can have almost like kind of a dual meaning, because it can be talking about doing something that is in accordance with ritual or tradition, or like an existing institution, existing framework. It can also talk about choosing to not follow that path and to kind of do your own thing. So again, it would depend on how this resonates for you. But if you have been feeling a little bit stuck, trapped, lost, confused, or afraid, I think that the advice here on the Hierophant might be to reach out for help, to ask for help, to seek out mentorship or guidance from either, again, a trusted mentor, a person in a position of authority over you, somebody who might be the type of thing where if you're trying to achieve a certain thing. I'm sorry, this camera is so crooked. It's really bothering me. Oh my God. Okay, another message about perfectionism. Oh my God, this is bothering me so much. I'm so sorry, pile one. So what I was trying to say is, if you're trying to achieve a specific outcome, especially if it's related to your career, it doesn't have to be, but if it's related to your career, if it's related to something creative, There might be somebody who has achieved a level of recognition or success in that field, and it might be an idea to try to follow their lead, either by, embracing the same techniques that they have used, learning from them in some way if they're offering a course, if they're offering guidance, or maybe even reaching out to them directly and saying like, listen, here's what I've been trying to achieve. This is what has been holding me back. I was hoping that we could talk about this because I would love any advice or guidance that you could give me about it. And just, it might be one of those things where like really the only thing you have to lose in that situation is like maybe the person won't respond, so there's really no harm in reaching out or seeing, what to do there. So I think again, the advice on how to move past the Eight of Swords is related to the Hierophant here. I think it's important that they're both the yellow color of the solar plexus, which has to do with willpower, determination, and self-esteem. So there's a message about continuing to keep going and working through whatever fear or blockage might be represented here, and then doing whatever self-esteem work is important for you. I have personally found that doing affirmations, particularly in the mirror, and noticing my self-talk and then making a conscious effort whenever I notice myself saying something negative about myself or engaging in negative self-talk, I reframe whatever I've said into a more positive statement. Because, like for a personal example, because I spent a long period of time in my adult life deep in addiction, when I got sober, I really felt like I was very behind all of my peers, and like I had missed out on a big chunk of my life, and and that other people were much more advanced in terms of the achievements that they had made in their career, the lifestyle milestones, those types of things. I felt very behind, and like I had missed out, and like I was still kind of a teenager trying to navigate the world as an adult, and like I had to play catch up. And so the way I would reframe those thoughts and feelings, like, I'm inadequate, I'm so behind, I'm so inexperienced, like I just feel like I've been left behind, reframing those thoughts to, I'm so incredibly grateful to be sober because I have a fresh new lease on life. I can start over exactly where I am, and there are so many people who don't get this opportunity, and I'm so incredibly grateful for it. So it's just reframing things. Might be something that is helpful for you, might be something you're being encouraged to do. And then, so I am going to talk about all this Wands energy here, which I also love. We have the Eight of Wands, which talks about success. It's like getting a yes from the universe. It can talk about something that is very fast, like something that kind of takes off without you. It could talk about if you're trying to do something on social media, it might be relevant here because we also have the Six of Wands, which I do tie to social media. There might be a message about something you're doing on social media that's going to take off or go viral, if that's relevant to you. If not, this is just talking about like things might start happening really fast, like again, like quick moving success. Whatever you're trying to achieve, you're going to be making fast progress, and especially it's going to be a feeling of feeling very inspired and feeling very passionate, and it's like you're putting these these winged shoes on your feet and saying, let's go. Like, I'm so excited to be doing whatever this is, and I'm so excited that the universe is showing up and supporting my dreams by meeting me with whatever success or recognition I have wanted out of this situation. The Three of Wands talks about, it's the hope related to the rainbow. It talks about like when we start to see the result of our manifestation work and our hard work. It's like when the universe shows up and and starts to bring our abundance towards us. It can be related to either the feeling of feeling hopeful and positive and waiting for our abundance to appear, and then it can also talk about those feelings that we have when it does start to appear, when it becomes clear that we are going to get the thing that we want. That can be represented on the Three of Wands. Again, the rainbow associated with hope. And then we have the Six of Wands, which is also tied to success. So Eight of Wands, Six of Wands, both related to success. Three of Wands, waiting for the universe to meet you halfway. Like bookended between here would be saying like, yes, you are going to get whatever you want here. You're going to be feeling extremely inspired and passionate. Six of Wands being recognized. So you're being recognized by Spirit and the universe in terms of them, you know, showing up and meeting you with your abundance, however that resonates for you. And then also being recognized by other people. And again, so that might be tied to something that has to do with social media, but it doesn't have to. You know, it could be like being recognized by friends and family for all that you have done, for the hard work that you've been doing, for, you know, all the passionate, inspired energy. You know, so other people saying like, I see you, I can see you, and I'm giving you the kudos that you deserve. So again, it's about however that resonates for you, and it could be related to your career, but it doesn't have to be. And then again, we do have the Eight of Swords here, and this card can talk about fear, and it can talk specifically about when we allow fear to hold us back from doing something. And there's a message with this card about the importance of recognizing that fear is valid, and it might be whatever specific fears you have might have been created by real circumstances that really happened in your life. So that is valid, and I want to validate that. However, there's a reminder with this card that when we don't know what the outcome is going to be for a specific circumstance, allowing our fear to hold us back from taking some sort of action is saying like it's like saying I'm not going to do the thing because I'm afraid of getting the bad outcome, when there is just as much of a chance of getting the good outcome. So it's like you're preventing yourself from achieving a positive outcome by choosing not to move forward just because you might get a bad outcome. You know what I mean? It's like you don't know yet. We don't know yet what the outcome's going to be. So that was what was kind of giving me the impression, the thing I said at the beginning of the reading, especially with all this beautiful Wands energy. It's like really at this point, if there is a blockage or a delay, it's being caused by your fear. And if you would recognize and resonate with the idea of like maybe wanting to reach out for help or follow the advice of someone in a Hierophant position, or finding a framework that is pre-existing that can help you kind of maybe organize all of this energy. Like the Wands energy is very passionate, excited. It's not necessarily grounded and practical like a Pentacles energy would be. It might be a message about, you know, fitting these things into a more practical framework. You know, the Hierophant, again, it's like an pre-existing framework and guidance from somebody else, and it's associated with Taurus, which is a very practical energy. So there might be messages about that. I totally got off track with the original thing I was saying, and I've totally forgotten it, so I'm sorry. This happens sometimes in readings. I get excited and then I lose track of my train of thought. But something else that I wanted to bring it back to was this message about epiphany and illumination. Again, like something being represented on a Hierophant here will help you illuminate something that I think is going to help you confront whatever fear is being represented here. Again, like the typical depiction on the Eight of Swords is somebody who is not actually trapped. They're not actually stuck, but they're blindfolded and they're in like a circle of swords. So there's a perception that they're stuck, but it's not the real truth. Right? So it's like your fears, whatever it is, it's not actually keeping you stuck there. You could choose to move forward and get yourself out of that situation. It just would require you to confront that fear. So there might be some epiphany or illumination. There might be when you lean into whatever's being represented on this Hierophant, however that resonates for you. And then there's a message here about, it's like having faith with the Three of Wands, having faith that that the things you want are going to come towards you in divine timing, that there is like this big, beautiful, abundant gift from the universe, like just waiting. your spirit guides, your higher self, they're just happily waiting for you to just push that ball up that last peak, and then it's gonna start rolling down the other side on its own. If that makes sense, if that resonates for you, like they're standing there with a big gift waiting for you to get to the top of the mountain, and you're almost there. So I think that's part of the message as well. With that said, I think that is where I'm going to leave your reading. Hopefully it has been helpful for you. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too much. If you like the video, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below, let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon where I post different types of bonus content, and an Etsy store where I do private readings. So if you're interested in those, the links will be in the description. And thank you very much for watching Pile 1, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 2, and welcome to your reading where we are getting some messages from your higher self. So this is whatever guidance or advice or other messages they might have for you today. And with that said, let's get into it. And these higher self, what messages do we have? Okay, we have the Eight of Swords. This card did come out for Pile 1. So if you felt drawn to Pile 1, there might be messages there for you. What messages do you have? Okay. We have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Messages. Okay. Everything's falling into my lap today. Okay. Okay, we have the Sun. This card did come out when I was shuffling the deck in between the piles. I had intended to talk about it, but it came out again for you. So I think this is an important message. All right, we have the Ten of Swords and the Hanged Man. I think there's a message here about staying positive in the face of adversity, and there's a message like it might not be time to move or rush forward just yet, but there is a new beginning that's going to come for you. I think right now your higher self is just showing up with a message to kind of, like just try to keep your chin up, as much as you can during this time, even though it might be difficult. And it's to lean into the message of the Sun of cultivating positivity and gratitude, and like hope for the future, however you can, is going to help you work through your fears that are being represented here on the Eight of Swords, so that you can close out this cycle and move on in due time and divine timing. With the Queen of Pentacles and the Hanged Man, there's a message here that this is a process that cannot be rushed. It can't be forced to happen at a certain timeline. It's going to happen at the pace that it happens at, and what's important here, I think, is how you choose to cope with the situation in the moment. I think is really important. There's with the Sun, I would say there's a big focus here on doing whatever you can to support your mental health during this time. I think as part of the message here, we are going to get your oracle cards. So we have, oh, I love this. Okay. Living with purpose brings me prosperity. And I could see that the prosperity message being represented on the Queen of Pentacles, and the living with purpose I could see being related to both the Sun and the Hanged Man, because the Sun, is connected with that idea of, cultivating positivity, like doing affirmations, doing gratitude work, and the Hanged Man can talk about having a change of perspective. I think that might, again, help focus away from whatever's being represented on the Eight of Swords, like these fears here, towards having making a plan with the Queen of Pentacles and having a positive attitude about the future, cultivating a sense of purpose for yourself. Even if the purpose that you have right now is just getting out of whatever situation you're currently in. That can give you a sense of purpose. And I think that if you're focusing on that and making kind of a practical plan to do that, that I think is what you are being encouraged to focus on right now. I will say, if none of this message has resonated, this might not be your pile, because it's a bit more of a kind of a specific message here. We are going to get more oracle cards. We have, I can't change which way the river bends, so I might as well strap in and enjoy this strange little boat ride. And Anyone bring a cooler? And I love this deck. I love these cards because they're really cute, but they still give important messages, in my opinion. And so it would be tied to this message of the Hanged Man. Again, this idea that I'm getting that your immediate physical circumstances might not be in your control right now. Like there might be a situation that you're in that, you know, is not going to change. You know, it's you're on the boat on the river, you know, and there's a message about surrender. You know, I can't change which way the river bends. You know, the message of the Hanged Man, surrendering to the process, surrendering to the divine. You know, I'm not in control at this moment, and that's okay. You know, and so I might as well focus on enjoying wherever I am and making the most out of the situation, a message associated with the sun. So then we have, stress is not for bottling up or for spilling out. Stress is for taking out to the curb and gently saying, thank you, but I've had enough. And with that, I return to my harmonious center, which is probably nougat. So yeah, I get with the stress message here tied to the Eight of Swords and probably also this Ten of Swords here. Like I could see you, again, being in a stressful situation. You might feel stuck or trapped in this kind of cycle here. There's a message on the Ten of Swords that you won't be here forever. There's, again, a message to the Hanged Man. It's going to take as long as it takes. And again, what really matters here is how you choose to handle the situation and how much effort and emphasis you are putting on managing your stress, managing the day-to-day things that are going on with you. Queen of Pentacles connected with self-care, like really taking care of yourself, stepping up for yourself. And part of that might be stress management. Part of that might be, again, doing the work represented on the Sun card in terms of creating a gratitude practice and shifting perspective with the Hanged Man in terms of I might not be able to change my immediate direct physical circumstances, but I can choose to change the way that I feel about it. And that, I think, is part of the message here. And then I will say, with the fact that I think the Sun is the most important card here, and you know, it did come out in between the readings, there might also be a message with the Sun, like a reassurance from your higher self, like a, you know, again, just like a positive message from your higher self that whatever you're going through right now is not going to last forever. You know, the sun is going to come up over the horizon, and to just keep going, because especially with the Ten of Swords, a message that, again, that this isn't going to last forever. That, you know, the Ten of Swords represents an ending. It will end eventually. You'll get to the end of the road eventually. There's some aspect to this process that cannot be forced to end on a specific timeline. So there's a change of perspective and an element of surrender here, but there's also reassurance that you're not doing anything wrong, and that it's important to make sure that you are doing whatever you can do within your power to take care of yourself as you go through this period of time. So and we're going to go card by card. Eight of Swords talks about fear. It can talk about when fear holds us back from doing something. You know, the typical Eight of Swords card in the Rider-Waite Tarot deck depicts somebody who is blindfolded and they're kind of surrounded by swords. So there's a message here that even though we might be allowing our fears to hold us back, we're not actually stuck. We're not actually trapped. You know, it might be our perception that we're stuck in a cage of swords, but we could easily take the blindfold off and walk through the swords, or pull the sword out of the ground and you know, take it with us, you know. So there's a message here that, again, it's like a change of perspective. You know, it's like saying, by changing how I choose to confront or deal with my fears, this might also represent like anxiety or irrational fear. It could be totally rational, fully legitimate fear as well, you know, and not to say that irrational fears are not also legitimate. You know, so mental health issues are totally legitimate, but you know, it's like you can choose how to approach this situation, and that is a power that you have. you know? And so whatever you can do within your power, within that power to confront whatever fear is being represented on this Eight of Swords here, I think you're being encouraged to do that. And if you are already doing that, then I think this is just a message from your higher self that like you're doing a great job, and to just, you know, to continue down the path. Again, I think the most important message here is the Sun. Like things are not going to be like this forever, and it's important to hold on to hope. It's important to hold on to faith that that you will get off this boat ride eventually, you know. And so again, whatever you're doing to confront or work through your fears, you are being encouraged to continue to do that, because that is helping create this change for you. And then we have the Queen of Pentacles, which, as I said, is related to, in this type of a message, can be related to self-care. It can be related, because it's Pentacles tied to the physical world. There can be a message about making sure that you are making time to take care of your physical body, however that resonates for you. Doing yoga, doing exercise, you know, whatever helps you feel like grounded in your physical body, making sure you give yourself time to rest, taking naps, whatever, honestly, whatever it means for you. There might be a message there about that. The Queen of Pentacles is also somebody who has a certain level of independence and a certain level of self-reliance. You know, the Queen of Pentacles, somebody who takes care of themselves and steps up for themselves in whatever way the spread might be talking about. So it's like taking charge of your self-affirmations, for example, or you know, reframing your experiences with positive self-talk, you know, or just, again, whatever you need to do to help you manage your stress level. Could be related to this Queen of Pentacles if there is some aspect to this spread that has to do with maybe speaking up for yourself, standing up to somebody who might be in a position of authority. That would be something that a Queen of Pentacles would do. Because the Queen of Pentacles also has high self-esteem. So that might be something that is related here. We have the Sun, which I would definitely associate with the solar plexus, which also is very related to self-esteem. Feelings of worthiness might be something that, that you have also been working on, in which case I think your higher self is really congratulating you for that. You might be going through a solar plexus expansion. We do have a lot of kind of yellow stuff here, and then, you know, the Sun, so that might be something that resonates for you. There's also green here, so maybe like heart chakra stuff as well, however that resonates. But yeah, again, I think the Sun is just, you know, a reassurance that that you will not be in this situation forever, and also a reminder, again, sometimes the only thing that we can control about a situation is how we choose to react to it, to put it that way, like how we choose to show up, and how we can try to focus on getting whatever enjoyment out of the situation we can while we wait for things to change. And with the Ten of Swords, there's a message: things will change. You know, the Ten of Swords, it can talk about like a painful ending. So there's a message. The 10 is the last card in the suit. Again, there's a confirmation, a reassurance that this situation will end. It is coming to a close. You will reach the end of this river, so there's a confirmation about that. However, this card is also tied to like a painful or bittersweet ending. So it could be there's some situation you might feel like you didn't want it to end, or like there's mixed feelings, or like it was a really difficult process to get to this end point. Like there was a lot of stress, there was a lot of hardship. You know, this it usually depicts a person, but this lizard has 10 swords in their back. That's not easy dealing with a situation like that. So it's again a recognition and an acknowledgement that the road so far has not been easy, but the road is ending. And the silver lining here is you will be able to shut the door on this chapter. You will be able to start over somewhere else and take the lessons that you have learned from this difficult cycle with you into the future, and like integrate those lessons, learn from the situation so that you don't end up in another Ten of Swords situation again. It's like you never have to go down this path again. You never have to get in that boat again. You know, you don't need to go through this lesson again. This is going to end. You're going to take what you need from the situation and leave the rest of it behind, and move forward into something new, something that is going to be better than whatever you were leaving behind. A confirmation again with the Sun. And then the Hanged Man, again, I think it's just kind of an important message about patience, surrender, and again, if we can't control the fact that we're, you know, kind of hanging upside down, the least we can do is take it as an opportunity to learn as much about the situation as we can and try to see things from a different viewpoint. If there is some aspect to what you are currently going through that can lead to a greater sense of clarity or understanding or empathy or whatever, I think that again, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity to see things through different eyes, to ask yourself, you know, what was the important lesson here? You know, what am I learning in this situation? What can I do in this situation to help support myself, to help support my growth and my mental health and my stress management, and to help me feel like I do have a sense of purpose. You know, even if there's a specific aspect of my life that I might not be in control of right now, I can still move forward with a sense of purpose. I can still take control of the things that I do have control over, with the knowledge that things will change in divine timing. And they will. That's a strong message coming through. So with that said, I think those are the messages that I have for you today. Hopefully this reading has been helpful. If you did like it, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below. Let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon where I post different types of bonus content, and an Etsy store where I do private readings. So if you're interested in either of those, the links will be in the description. And thank you very much for watching Pile 2, and I do hope to see you in my next video. Hello Pile 3, and welcome to your reading where we are getting some guidance from your higher self. So this might be whatever guidance or advice they have for you today, or any other type of message that might come out. And with that said, let's get into it. What messages do you have for Pile 3? Please, okay. Okay, we have the Queen of Cups and the Page of Wands. Okay. Okay, we have the Hanged Man. This card did come out for Pile 2, so if you felt drawn to Pile 2, there might be messages there for you. Okay. Okay, then we have the Four of Cups and the Magician. Okay. So there might be messages for you in in Pile 2, although I will say this is a different message with a different energy here. Okay. I think there are exciting things for you around the corner. I think that you might resonate as feeling like you've kind of been waiting for a really long time for something interesting to happen or for things to change. You might feel like you're like really kind of showing up for yourself. You've done a lot of spiritual work. You kind of have really kind of embraced the journey. You might feel like you're really putting yourself out there a lot and trying to make new connections and trying to try new things. And you might feel like there have been blockages or delays, or like, you know, the universe is not meeting you halfway, like you're not necessarily getting what you want out of the situation. There's a message here that I think it's only a matter of time, and that there's a recognition from your higher self that you're not doing anything wrong. And if there is a blockage or delay, there might be some other reason for it. There's an element of divine timing at play here with the Hanged Man there. Like this might be like an important part of the message here. But again, there's I think confirmations that whatever's going on here, you are doing everything that you need to be doing in this situation, and that, you know, you will get exactly what you want in divine timing. So I want to say that's like my initial first impression. And then we have You Are Worthy, which you absolutely are. So there may be a message here. It's a green associated with the heart chakra. I think you have been doing heart chakra healing, honestly. It might be tied to this Queen of Cups here. You might recognize that as something that you have been really working on, and that might be part of the reason why you're like, well, I've been working on healing my, my heart and my emotional body and my connections with other people. And so, where are these people? Like why is that not, working out for me? You might be feeling like you've been really working on your self-esteem and feelings of worthiness. And like, again, other people might not be meeting you in that energy just yet. But again, I think there's a reassurance here that it is only a matter of time. And then the other part of that is, it's a jug pouring water. I might also associate that with Aquarius. And again, there would be a message with that about authenticity, and again, just continuing to show up as your genuine, authentic self. And again, it's like there's a message here. If things have not been happening exactly the way that you want to, if you're feeling like you're a little bit bored or stuck or stagnant, or like you're trying your hardest to bring changes into your life, and they're just not manifesting yet. Again, it's just continuing to show up in your authentic energy. It's not a matter of worthiness. It's not a matter of whether or not you deserve the things that are coming in for you. Again, if there is some blockage or delay, it has to do with divine timing. That's really a strong message that I'm getting. So we'll get some more cards for you. This one says, when in doubt, give people the benefit. Everyone else is trying their best, right? Except maybe this person talking on speakerphone in public. So, the message about it, and I would associate this definitely with heart chakra healing, bringing compassion, bringing empathy to our relationships, and, we're showing up with our genuine, authentic energy, and trying to make genuine connections with other people, I think would be definitely, related to both the Queen of Cups and the Page of Wands. Being excited to connect with other people, being receptive to other people's energy, obviously with healthy boundaries, but being open and receptive, giving people the benefit of the doubt, and approaching situations with the knowledge that you are worthy and other people are also worthy, and somebody who rubs us the wrong way. They could just be having a bad day. They could, whatever it is. They could have unhealed wounds, whatever it is. It's like, we don't need to take that on or internalize it. And we could just say, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, and just let go of this, whatever it is. So that might be something that resonates for you. I think if that is something you're already doing and already working on, again, this is just a message that you're not doing anything wrong here, and to continue to work on feelings of worthiness, working on heart chakra expansion. Again, I think that's going to really bring vast improvements into your life, especially in interpersonal relationships. There is a connection to romantic relationships here, but it's like every other type of relationship. Work relationships, platonic connections, acquaintances, friendships, whatever we're talking about here. It's like all relationships, all aspects of, the heart chakra idea of the interconnectedness of all things. It's a vast web of relationships that we can choose to tap into as a higher source of connectedness and love. So I wanted to say that. Then we have, after a tough day, I remember that the most challenging, there's messages here about challenging people. After a tough day, I remember that the most challenging people in my life are my coaches. They coach me on patience and compassion, and one day I promise to be grateful. So this includes people who are stubborn, prickly, grumpy, loud, gum chewy, there's messages about compassion and at the very least tolerance for other people who are difficult or challenging or, engage in our pet peeve behaviors or rub us the wrong way or are genuinely jerks, we can take from those experiences, as like learning experiences, both in terms of the way that we don't want to be, and in terms of I get like learning how to practice patience, learning how to practice compassion or empathy, especially for people that we don't want to be empathetic to, you know, especially for people where we're like, you don't deserve my empathy. It's like, those are, I think, are really important experiences to be able to say, well, I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt anyway. I'm going to try to put myself in your shoes anyway, you know, and at the very least, I'm going to tolerate you until I can remove myself from your energy, you know. So whatever you're doing in terms of that, if you have really been working on, you might be somebody and you recognize that you've had a lot of like really difficult people in your life, difficult relationships, and you might have really had to go on with the Queen of Cups here. This is talking to me about somebody who's really been through a journey of emotional healing, especially if you recognize this as you know, part of your life's journey so far has been dealing with a lot of these types of difficult personalities. You know, you might have grown up with like narcissists and that type of person. You might have like lots of toxic behavior, etc. And the Queen of Cups, this would tell me you are working on healing, and you are like already largely through that process of healing and change. And so again, there's another comfort. You're not doing anything wrong. You're doing a great job. Yeah, again, and sometimes the only thing that we can do, because we can't choose how somebody else chooses to behave, right? So sometimes the only thing that we can do is try to manage those connections to the best of our ability. You know, and I think that is great. It's like working on compassion and empathy, and at the very least, tolerating somebody's presence until you can get away from them. So I think that's great with the Queen of Cups there. If there's advice on that card, it might also be to continue to lean into spiritual development, because the Queen of Cups also tied to spiritual development and intuition. Queen of Cups is very empathetic and very connected with their emotions. So doing emotional deep dive, emotional work, again, anything related to the heart chakra, I think is really important. And if you've already been doing that, then you're doing a great job. Again, you're not doing anything wrong. But if there's advice might be related to that. Then the Page of Wands, you know, this talks to me about, you know, the Page is the youngest of the court cards. It's like approaching situations with a beginner's mind, you know, from a kind of starting energy. We're kind of clearing the slate of the past and saying, I'm just going to show up, you know, as a beginner here and start somewhere new. And the Page of Wands is excited to meet people. They're excited to make new connections. They're excited to go on the adventure and the journey of life. I want to try new things. I want to go new places. I want to meet new people. I want to make new connections. I'm putting myself out there in a genuine way. This is my real energy. You know, the Page of Wands is somebody who you know, it's not that they necessarily like are naive or don't necessarily have the experience to be closed off. I think it's more in combination with the Queen of Cups energy, like healing past that. You know, again, it's like I might have had really bad experiences in my life with people, again, who are like toxic, unhealed, negative, narcissistic, whatever it is, difficult people, you know, and I am choosing to show up in the energy of the Page of Wands, where I'm still excited to go out and connect with people, because I know that there are people out there who vibrate on my frequency. I know there are people out there who are going to match me in the Queen of Cups energy. I know that there are people out there who are part of my soul family, whether I've met them yet or not. I know that my future next best friend is out there somewhere, you know, and I'm when I show up in my Page of Wands energy, I am attracting them in towards me, and that might be something that you resonate with. And then with the Hanged Man and the Four of Cups, again, this is where I was getting kind of the impression that you might feel like it hasn't happened yet, you know, like you continue showing up in this energy and you're only being met with difficult situations or difficult people or people who end up, you know, not being what you thought they were, or they're not showing up in a genuine energy, or whatever it is. Like what the relationships, the new connections you're forming are maybe not what you had expected or wanted. And there's a message here, the Hanged Man, again, it's just a matter of divine timing. If things are not moving forward or progressing the way you would have wanted them to right now, is because there is something divine at play here. It's either maybe I think there is a message from your higher self again that like there is something you're doing everything that you need to be doing. You're doing a great job. There is some aspect to this cosmic puzzle that piece has not been put into place yet. It could be that whoever you are meant to meet in this lifetime is not ready to meet you yet, and that it has nothing to do with you or your worthiness. You know, it's just there's aspects to it that they're just not in alignment yet, and it's only a matter of time. So if you're in the status quo right now, you are exactly where you're supposed to be. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing, and it's an opportunity. If you want to take this opportunity, it is an opportunity to practice patience and compassion with the people that you are meeting, the connections that you are making, the people who are coming towards you. It's just an opportunity to practice while you wait for the people who are meant to come into your life to come in. So that might be part of the message there. And then as the Four of Cups, again, this would give me the sense of, you know, feeling bored, feeling dissatisfied, feeling disillusioned, you know, like, and I love the design on this card in this deck. It's like this flamingo is looking at these 3 cups that have spilled kind of underwater and saying, like, what I'm looking for isn't here. You know, like, why am I not finding what I'm looking for? When they're, you know, the cup that they want, the cup with the beautiful abundance in it, you know, it's there, but they're not looking in the right place, to put it that way. I don't necessarily think that is part of the message here for you. Again, there's a message with the Hanged Man that you're not doing anything wrong, which is, I think, an important part of the message here. But I think that this is saying, like, it's right around the corner, like it's right here. The thing that you want, that you do not currently have, it's here. It's right near you. But there's aspects that have not come into alignment yet. And when the timing is right, you will lift your flamingo head out of the water and see the cup that's there. Like, you will come into alignment, and that, I think, is going to be special. Like, I think this is really just a reassurance from your higher self. We are bringing you the cup that you want. It's just a matter of time. And if you cannot see it yet, it's not because you're doing something wrong by looking in the wrong place. There's stuff that has to happen so that when you shift your perspective, you can see the cup that's being offered, if that makes sense. I hope that I have articulated that clearly. And then I'm going to move on just to the Magician. The Magician, again, a confirmation that you are not doing anything wrong. The Magician is talking about, you know, stepping up into your power to create whatever future you want for yourself. The Magician is a master manifester because they use all the tools at their disposal, like the practical and spiritual tools at their disposal, to create whatever future they want for themselves. The Magician is somebody who believes in their own power and believes in their spiritual support, and says, again, like, I can do anything. I can bring anything in towards me. I know that I have the power of divine creation at my fingertips, and it's just a matter of going forward and going after the things that I want. And, you know, with the other messages here, I was, again, getting the impression that that is largely what you have already been doing. And so, again, there's a confirmation here. You're manifesting everything you want. You are going to get what you want. You are going to get this beautiful cup here. And it's just a matter of time. You know, and I think, again, your higher self's just coming through today to say, like, in the meantime, let's focus on practicing patience. Let's focus on practicing compassion, as frustrating as that might be. Let's continue to work on our self-esteem and feelings of worthiness, because it's only a matter of divine timing before the right connections are going to come in with people who are as willing to fill your cup as you are willing to fill theirs as well. So, with that said, I think those are the messages that I have for you today. I hope you liked this video. If you did like it, please feel free to give it a like. Please comment down below. Let me know how it resonated for you. If you like my videos and you want to see more from me, you can feel free to subscribe to my channel. I also have a Patreon where I post different types of bonus content, and an Etsy store where I do private readings. So if you're interested in either of those, the links will be in the description. And thank you very much for watching Pile 3, and I do hope to see you in my next video.